clock winds down here. The New Orleans Saints with the victory. Now move to 5-1 on the year. Our final score 13-6 for Trent, Melanie, Gene Steratore, Greg Gumbel saying so long from Jacksonville. Let's go to James Brown with the NFL Today update delivered by Pizza Hut.
All right, Greg, so Teddy Bridgewater gets it done again. This is his 4th win, stepping up to cover for the injured Drew Brees as New Orleans takes it 13-6. We take you now. Houston leading Kansas City 31-24, 5:12 left in regulation. Let's join Ian Eagle.
Kansas City, first 8 drives of the day, no punts. The last 2, we've seen Colquitt.
All right. And welcome back to the NFL Today update delivered by Pizza Hut. And a reminder, the second half of our doubleheader coming your way next. Some will see the Titans at the Broncos. Most will get the Cowboys and the Jets in our featured matchup. That's next right here on CBS. I'm James Brown along with my partners Phil, Coach Nate, and Boomer. And Phil, from the early set of games, your thoughts are?
Well, I think my first thought is Lamar Jackson for the Baltimore Ravens. He has over 390 yards of total offense by himself, over 150 yards rushing. I said earlier, he's the outside run force for their offense, but, man, it's even more than that. It's up the middle. It's around everybody. And then the great thing about it is he does all this, and he doesn't take big hits. Really, they have to be, that's the most exciting thing about watching. He doesn't take a beating.
You know, I look at Deshaun Watson. You think about the last 2 weeks. We talked about all the sacks he's taken. He's been 0 sacks the last 2 weeks. He beats you with his feet. They've got a very balanced offensive attack, running the ball and throwing the ball, going up to Kansas City, into Kansas City to lose 2 consecutive home games. That's big news. That's the big takeaway I have.
I meant Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, no, I hear you started with Lamar. And, you know, I'll finish with Deshaun Watson. I hear you, Coach, because there was a narrative that he was an athletic guy that can throw pretty good. And then you face Pat Mahomes in a game where he's known as the prolific passer. In the beginning of this matchup between Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson was dropping dimes off. Will Fuller dropped a couple early in the game, and just like Lamar Jackson, he was able to use his legs in moments that matter. And I'll tell you what, that 4th and 3 at the end of the game, hitting his DeAndre Hopkins, #1 wide receiver, like that was a special play, a big moment for that squad.
I think Andy Reid better get his team back together, have a little conversation about where they are and how teams are trying to take their offense away, and the fact that their defense isn't very good. You know, they fired their defense coordinator last year, brought in Steve Spagnuolo, got rid of some of the older chief players, brought in some new guys, went to a new scheme, and it's just as bad, if not worse, than it was last year. So this team, where many people thought were going to be, you know, the favorite to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC, I would tell you right now is dropping, and it's dropping fast.
All right, Bowman, let's treat the viewers to some highlights, and we start with you.
All righty, here they are. I'll tell you what, this game was everything that it was advertised to be. 2 great quarterbacks making plays. Look at Deshaun Watson right here, just fighting through a tackle. Was not going to be denied, was going to put his team in front, and they were going to be in front to stay. They were going to win 31-24 over the Kansas City Chiefs.
Saints at Jacksonville. Here it is, the only touchdown of the day. Teddy Bridgewater looks and finds his 2nd receiver in the back of the end zone. Nice throw to Jared Cook. New Orleans wins 13-6.
All right, earlier today in London, Kyle Allen wins another one in replace of Cam Newton. The injured Cam Newton right here finds Christian McCaffrey. Watch this move right here, folks. Christian McCaffrey, a special athlete coming out of the backfield for the Panthers. They go to 4-2. Tampa falls to 2-4 as Jameis Winston throws 5 interceptions.
And as Phil talked about before, Lamar Jackson, the dynamic running ability of him, 152 yards, also 236 yards passing. Baltimore atop the AFC North, 23-17 over Cincinnati.
All right, Seattle Seahawks and the Cleveland Browns. Nick Chubb, he's going to get in the end zone right here. The score is 28-25 in the 4th quarter, but Seattle in scoring position right now. Philadelphia Eagles, Minnesota Vikings. I'll tell you what, they say squeaky wheel gets the grease. Stephon Diggs, last couple weeks, a lot of drama going on. No drama today. He had 3 touchdowns. The Vikings all over Philadelphia in this one, 38-20.
Washington Redskins down against the Miami Dolphins. Here we are, Ryan Fitzpatrick, 11-yard touchdown throw to Devontae Parker to get within 1 point. They go for 2. Then a screen to Kenyon Drake is dropped, and then Washington Redskins hold on to win 17-16.
Seattle just scored, by the way, so they just took the lead in that 28-5. Chris Carson, 1-yard touchdown, should be 31-28. That's a close one.
Russell Wilson coming from behind. What a shock.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
And we'd like to welcome those of you who are watching the Cincinnati at Baltimore Ravens game. You heard Phil talk about, as well as Coach Lamar Jackson there. Ravens improved to 4-2 with that 6-point win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Lamar Jackson just simply phenomenal. And I love the characterization you were giving between the quarterbacks, and we were talking to Sean as well, too. But Lamar, what have they done with him in the offseason?
Well, you know, they did something that's really unique. They built an offense that fit him. How about that? You know, really, but it is. You know, Bill, you and I talk about this. We all do all the time. You get quarterbacks, and so much of their success is predicated on who's running the offense and what they designed for them. And Greg Roman, I'll give John Harbaugh a lot of credit, too, because it takes guts to do this, and they created something new, and it's working well.
You know, and they're part of that, too, Phil, is the development of that young quarterback, because you want to make him feel comfortable, but you also want to allow him to grow and develop as a passer in this league that's got sustainability. And I think from Lamar Jackson, his decision-making, he doesn't take a lot of hits, and he's throwing the ball a lot better.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned something, Phil, about him not taking those big shots. You know, I feel like it's a blessing to have a guy like RG3 sitting behind you, because we know early in his career, he was taking a lot of shots. He's probably telling Lamar, protect yourself, young man.
You know, for the Bengals and Zach Taylor, man, the growing pains are still there. They can't run the football for the life of them, and they're asking Andy Dalton to throw the ball an average over 40 times a game. Today it was 39 times. He's on pace for 650 pass attempts this year. That is not a recipe for success.
And Nate, to your point, Aaron Rodgers said the same thing to Lamar. Take it easy, young fella. You can do it. Hey, a reminder, the second half of our doubleheader coming up next, Cowboys and the Jets. That's our featured matchup. Or some will see the Titans at the Broncos right here on CBS.
All right, guys, there's Dak Prescott, the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. They are in the midst of a 2-game losing streak. They need this game badly against the Jets. He will be without his starting offensive tackles.
Yeah, the odds are stacked against the Jets, but they do have their quarterback back. He's back from mononucleosis. First game back since week 1. I'll say this. Try to drop it off to Le'Veon Bell as much as you can. That is going to be the guy to hold you down.
We're talking about last two losses. That guy right there has to get going in the running game. He's been held under 100 yards in both these last 2 losses. Look for him to have a big day, at least get a lot of touches today.
Well, Nate, you talk about Le'Veon Bell. He is a terrific runner, but the Jets need to use him more catching the football, especially against this Dallas defense. Their front 4 is going to be, it's tough. They got to get rid of the football quick. Throw it to Le'Veon Bell.
How about Amari Cooper down the field? He's the superstar. But the deal is here in Dallas, who do we pay and how much do we pay him? And what are they worth? And that's what they're trying to find out. At the end of the day, this is a game that they should win. They're the better team, and they're going to have to go out and prove it, and they're going to have to do it with Amari Cooper.
Let's shift gears to Colorado, guys. How about the Tennessee Titans and the Denver Broncos? Marcus Mariota, 7 TDs, has yet to throw an interception this season, but his squad, though, yet to win 2 games in a row. Need to find consistency for the squad.
And Joe Flacco got his first win last week. He threw the ball 20 times, and that is going to be their recipe. He throws the ball deep very well, but running the football, play action, that's what he does well.
Well, Tennessee Titans love it. Give it to the big guy, you know, and that's Derrick Henry, powerful running back. That's what you can do against the Denver defense. They play safe. They don't want to give up big plays. They allow you to run the football. Derrick Henry needs a big day.
Hey, there's our colleague from the Super Bowl, Von Miller. Come on, Von, let's go. Let's pick it up. You know, I'll tell you one thing. Without Bradley Chubb, it really a lot falls on him when it comes to the pass rush. And I think finally Vic Fangio is starting to understand what they can get from him and what they can get from this defense. They'll make it hard on Marcus Mariota and his offense today.
Keep your eye on Courtland Sutton. Last week, him and Flacco found a combination. He got in the end zone. That should be a guy to make some plays on offense.
Both these teams like to play the game very physical. This game will be won at the line of scrimmage.
And there you have
15
it.
A win.
As we set the stage, late games coming up right now.